Okay guys, welcome back. This is going to be the confirmation dream for the last video that I shared, the in the spirit experience and the Iron Man. So she sent this to me on Thursday, the 4th, the same day that I was headed to South Carolina, and she had received the dream on the 1st. So it started out that her angels came to collect her in a vehicle, like some type of a sports car. And so they picked her up and they took her out to get something to eat, and then they dropped her outside this particular office building. She knew she was about to start a new job. He told her, this was her angel, he told her that he would see me at the gathering and that all of our angels will be there with us. And then he left. And I believe we spend more time with our angels than we know, she said. They are just as excited to see us as we are to meet them. So the scene changed, and she was in an office starting her new job as a logistics event organizer. Now, guys, the images that I have here are just from Google, just so that we have something up there identifying what this dream is about. So she's starting her new job as a logistics event organizer, and she knew it was just coming up on 12 p.m. and the lady who ran the office had to leave for lunch and leave her there by herself. So she was feeling a little nervous and a little unsure of herself, and there was a very nasty woman with unruly hair at the back of the office that seemed to be mocking her. Now, isn't that interesting? She decided to ignore her and opened a book or folder in front of her and found that everything that was written in it was the details of a Scottish gala dinner that was coming up very, very soon. So then her scene changed, and she was at a very large hotel venue at a warm climate. And she has in parentheses, Island/Israel. She wasn't sure. This was the Scottish theme event that she had been working on, and others around me had items of clothing made of tartan. Okay, so let's take a look at what tartan is. This type of plaid, okay? So others around her had items of clothing made of tartan, like a blouse or a scarf, and only those working on the project were there, and only a few, as the guests were not due to arrive for some time. We were still preparing the event. The unruly-haired woman was there and started to mock me that I wasn't even wearing a tartan. I looked down and I saw that I was wearing capris and a t-shirt. Again, I began to doubt myself. Now, guys, this happens so much. This happens so much for those that are on YouTube. Please pray for your brothers and sisters that are on YouTube. Be careful with your words with them. So she looked down and she saw that she was wearing capris and a t-shirt, and so she began to doubt herself. And at that exact moment, the woman who had left for lunch earlier in the dream burst through some double doors, and she was carrying something very carefully laid across her arms, and she was grinning from ear to ear. In a very loud voice, she said to me, "You have no idea how long I have waited to present you with this. It is your tartan. It is the graphite and steel." Now, this lady looked straight at the nasty woman and repeated it again. And when she said that, the nasty woman actually gasped. And I knew that she knew she had made a terrible mistake by mocking me. I instantly knew that the graphite and steel represented what the graphite and steel represented and what the tartan outfit was. It was a full kilt and blouse in beautiful gray tartan, and this was an honor. The graphite represents, and I pulled it up here The graphite represents what is written, because pencils are made of graphite. And we will walk out what is written and become a living testimony, she has in parentheses, witness of the Lord. And the steel is us. Okay, so I defined steel. All right. So the steel is us, put through the furnace and refined. So notice here where it's saying steel is a hard gray alloy of iron. Okay, and then when I pulled up iron, a strong, hard, silvery gray metal, especially in the form of steel. So gray is a particular color of both of these metals, which I thought was interesting, because she's getting a gray tartan, which is graphite and steel. Wow. So the steel is us, put through the furnace and refined, our clay vessels superheated, bringing us forth as blooms. See the bloomery furnace. So she's saying these types of furnaces, let me see if I can move this over. The bloomery furnace, these older types of furnaces, talks about the process of firing it up, right? Meaning molten, to the point of molten. So when we're speaking of fire refinement, we know what you have to do to get pure gold, and we know what silver has to go through to do the same thing. But he is talking about steel, and he is talking about iron. Okay, and so we know that still has to go through the fire. So we are talking about the fire baptism that is getting ready to take place. This is the first fruits being made incorruptible, she said. The only thing I wasn't sure of was why it was a Scottish gala dinner. So when I awoke from the dream, I asked the Lord, and he told me, it is time for you to become your clan, your tribes. But there's more. Clan means kinship, children, progeny. Yes, it is the manifestations of the sons and daughters of God. So we know God has been pointing us to that in many different videos. We have brought that forth many times. We've talked about it. These are the sons and the daughters of God getting ready to come forth. So guys, I wanted to share her dream. I asked her, could I do so? She said, of course I could share this. And I wanted to show you that the Spirit is moving, okay? And he is providing information to a lot of different people. And there are a lot of different ways that you can hear him. You can hear him in dreams, like she received this. You can enter into the Spirit like I did and received mine. I was speaking directly to him, asking questions about what was going on. And we both were pointed to the same thing. Okay, hers is Scottish, mine is Irish. Both were clans. Both are irons or steel and metal. Both are talking about putting on incorruptibility. Guys, it's speaking of our tribes. It's speaking of getting ready to go forth. I said in one of those videos not long ago, the Lord is moving forward. He's continuing to move forward. It is time for us to continue to do so. So I provide both of these videos for your discernment. Please seek the Lord on it. And as with anything else that I provide for you, I still am asking you to seek the Lord on those as well. God bless you all. Thanks for coming back. Until we speak again, stay under his wing. Bye.